set a couple of things up, and then I get into explaining some stuff, and then doing what I meant to do for this stream, and yeah, I'm gonna be busy for like the next week with trying to catch up with what I'm planning to doing, which is incredibly stupid because I've already got a lot going on next week to begin with. But hey, who cares? Right, you can hear me. So, I just got to set two things up, but hello internet, first off. I need to really try and identify a key brand throughout all of my videos. Which is why I'll probably start off with hello internet. Because who knows where I'm going to end up putting a video up. Three, right, yeah, hello YouTube. I'm making a new channel. Hello to viewers. I am giving general updates on everything. So, first off, while we load into the Minecraft world, I wasn't originally going to upload my review of Doctor Who Flux, Halloween Apocalypse, onto my main channel, because I thought, let's be honest, my main channel is a Frankenstein's monster of content, and to be honest, if you got more than two, I think that means the algorithm just sort of thinks you're weird. So I'm kind of, because I've got whatever, like Fortnite sometimes, Halo for definite, and the occasional Pokemon, it all mixes, and I don't want to add film media reviews into that, because it might, I don't want to say hurt the channel more than it's already hurting. So I'm going to be making a brand new channel. Whenever it's up, it will be linked in the description for every video from here outwards, including the Halo gameplays from here outwards, because although they're pre-recorded, the descriptions are updated to as of what's happening at this time, which is why pre-recording is dumb for me, because I need consistent. Anyway, so I'll be calling the channel probably Dr. Funny Reviews, so it keeps on par with my online branding. Why am I using big words? But I need to make an intro for it, which will probably be a Doctor Who styled intro, because I was thinking of making one of those for my main channel. Not going to do that now. So I've got that to do. I've got a logo to design. I've consulted two of my friends, one of which we have agreed on a similar idea, having my current one involved in some form of camera. And my other friend I consulted is making a draft to give me an idea, or well, an example rather, of what I could do, because I'm no clue what to do. And basically this is going to go up on Stream Archive. I've then got to edit last week's review because I wasn't going to bother completely. Sorry if I'm talking fast. So I've got to edit last review of Halloween Apocalypse and try and get that up for tomorrow, and edit this week's for Sunday, so on and so forth. Now, why it's getting its own channel is because I play a lot of games. I'm looking at my game shelves at the moment. So I've got a DVD rack with all my original to 360 games, because they're that size. And then on the shelf I've just got one to Series X and S. I play a lot of games. I watch a lot of movies and TV series. Several years after they've been out, of course. And I thought it'd be a fun way to now have an excuse of why I watch all of that. Because first of all, my excuse was I like to quote things. I do. Watching any of my streams and or videos, you can tell I do. I quote a lot. sometimes too much for my own good. Which is why this will now give me the excuse to why I watch it. Now, I swear I like to quote Star Wars 36 times in a day. Because something tells me if you say that, they're going to look at you funny. Until you find someone who understands the quote and they respond with, well, what do you know? Oh look, I've done it again. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So, that'll be up. Edit that up, and I don't know. If I ever read comics, I'll put reviews in there of that. So yeah, it's a review of anything and everything. I will still be using Party Troll. If you didn't know, that is the song I use for my intro. As the intro for that channel for the time being, I'll probably keep it as that. I'll just change it a bit. If it's a Doctor Who styled intro like a Vortex, it'll probably be slowed down and sped up in some areas, of course. And the outro, because I was considering changing the outro on my main channel, but I might not now. I might just, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I have been debating starting a new channel for a while, because my current one, I am happy with it, don't get me wrong. It's gone through a lot, okay? It's gone from me posting weird shit, to me leaving it for a while, to me coming back, and leaving again over lockdown, which is where the majority of the planet was watching YouTube, which would have made more sense for me to be there and pushing the channel. I come back, to be fair to me, I do come back in a lockdown, and I do that, I come back, and by that point the channel's hurt enough to do anything. But the thing is, no secret here, I'm not very PG on my other channel, and that's for a reason. For some reason, some of my videos get marketed as child friendly. Now, I don't want it to be that, because then you can't comment and do other stuff. So I end up swearing at least once in a video, so that can't happen. Because YouTube get into trouble if they put a swearing video as child friendly. If I start from scratch, there's a chance they won't do this. I'm not going to stop posting on the other channel. I'll be running this one alongside. If that makes sense. Plus, I would now have a channel that I pick things apart, right? Like adverts and stuff. Now, if I did that on a YouTube channel, that would probably work quite well. But I'm a fool, so. And it'd be a channel I can proudly present to the internet without the videos from a few years back. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. So sorry if some of that didn't make sense, and sorry if that did make sense. Because I think this is probably like I can't even count. Main, archive, second, studios, discarded channel on my home Gmail. I've got a resource channel, an experiment one where we tried to get it working with my friends. There's two of those because it didn't work. I've got two with my friends. It means I'm on 11 YouTube accounts. Nine if you remove the ones that don't work. 8 if you remove the one I don't use. Now you could say, why not rebrand that one? Well, I posted on it once, so it's kind of, you know, the algorithm sort of gonna have done that one in. So sorry about the rambling, but now I shall get on to the Doctor Who review, which is, I will just check you can hear me before I get on with that, which how I'll edit it is probably in 5-minute increments, and then send it over to my laptop to put all together and then upload it. Right, you can hear me. That's very good. I quite like this week's episode. I'm just gonna have a drink. Right, sorry about all the stupid rambling. Whew. And if that somehow made sense to someone, how about we lost a viewer. I guess I was rambling for too long. I need to line myself up with thing again, don't I? Line myself up. Almost got myself up. Right. I haven't played Minecraft in a little bit. Let's see. I have to remove the coordinates, don't I? I think that's under video. No, it's not. Profile. Multiplayer game. Show coordinates. Off. There we go. And actually, what I probably should do as well is hide my hotbar, because yeah, hide hands, hide HUD. Yeah, see. Right. Hello, internet. About, let's say, about 35 minutes ago, Doctor Who Flux Episode 2 War of the Sontarans aired in the UK. Gotta specify that. And I actually quite like this week's episode. I can't lie, Chibnall is doing quite well with Doctor Who this season. Because, I mean, I didn't think much of the 13th Doctor's last two seasons. But this one so far, yes. So, this episode was an hour long. So it came on 10 minutes early, finished 10 minutes later. And next week is starting 15 minutes later, so I think it might be a shorter one. Or they've got to catch up on Country File, which comes on before Doctor Who in the UK. Who knows? Anyway, this week's episode picked up where the last one ended, with the Flux entering the TARDIS. And rather than picking up exactly there, it picked off after the Flux hit, which I think was actually a clever move. Because otherwise they would have had to come up with some way of conveying the Flux, sending everyone back in time and mucking everything up. But the Doctor ends up in some dead forest. Not sure if it is sort of where they spend near enough the rest of the episode. But I will get the time up for this. I'm I'm struggling here trying to find what the time was, because I'm gonna cut this bit out of the review, obviously. But I can't remember when it took place. Now I know it's in the Crimean War, but when in the Crimean War? Let's see. More of Santaris. Okay, then. I don't think. Just type in Crimean War. Right, so it takes place somewhere between 1853 and 1856. I honestly can't remember when or if it actually was mentioned, but Yaz, the Doctor, and Dan are all in the Crimean War on a battlefield with a load of soldiers slain with the correct uniform to their time. And the TARDIS is there as well, but we'll get onto that. Now, they're greeted by Mary Seacole and they're told to run away. Now, at first you think it's going to be some soldiers from that time not wanting them to be there. No, it's actually a Sontaran patrol. They seem to like the smell of the rotting bodies. Bit odd, but Sontarans ain't knock it. I like the Sontaran armor design. I'm not gonna complain about it, except I am. But the only thing I'm not too sure on is that design was from, I think, the 80s. My knowledge on old Who isn't as good as my knowledge on new Who, because I've seen very little of it. What I've seen of old Who is a few episodes of the 4th Doctor, I think 2 of the 5th, and 6 of the 1st. But I do own the first ever Doctor Who episode on DVD, so that's alright. Yeah, I'm not sure why they used the old design. It is cool, but there is the updated design from 2006 from Poison Sky and Sontaran Stratagem from the 10th Doctor's run. I mean, that design's quite cool, but I don't mind it. Anyway, they're doing Sontaran things, and the Doctor's about to go into Mary Seacole's British hotel, which is like a on-site mini hospital, if you like. And yeah, Dan starts to disappear back to the future style. You know, when Marty's looking at his hand and it's going, except he's doing that, he's got like a blue effect around him as he disappears. And at first I thought, oh, why have they done this to us? You know, I thought, they can't kill off Dan. But he disappears. Then Yaz disappears after. I think it was the result of the flux. But they get sent to 2 completely separate places. I had the volume really low on my, so I didn't really hear when exactly Dan was sent to, but I know it is sometime after the Halloween apocalypse, because his house is missing and his parents say, oh, you've been gone for months. Anyway, back to the Crimean. Yaz is sent to a temple. We'll get into that. And the Doctor goes into Mary Seacole's house. You know, there's a Sontaran who's prisoner. You know, she ends up questioning the Sontaran, and he's going, I will do no such. I've been conditioned not to tell you my secrets, that. Yeah, the basic I will never talk stuff. And the doctor lets him free, on the understanding that he'll tell his Sontaran general that she requests parley, and she'll tell him where to find the doctor. So the Sontaran goes and tells his commanding bloke, and he gets executed for being a weak Sontaran. And I think we cut to Dan, who's in Liverpool still, after the Halloween apocalypse, but the Sontarans have taken over, because obviously they've taken over from the Crimean War. And, you know, they're patrolling. He's out past the curfew, so they're going to execute him. Except his parents come and beat them at the back of the head with a wok, which leads to several jokes in the future. Love that. You know, and they go to the shipping dock, I think it was, to see all the Sontaran, like, military base effectively for the Sontarans. Dan decides to sneak in, tells his parents to go back, so they do. And he's snooping around, and he sees three humans be marched out to a shipping container by Sontarans. Only to turn out those Sontarans were a firing squad, and they were being executed for trespassing. So Dan looks away, but hears everything, and he decides to sneak around more. And big respect to Dan for this. He holds his phone with one hand, recording everything, holds a wok with the other, and can creep around. Big respect to Dan for that. But he's recording this for the doctor, obviously. And he goes, hang on, I'm going to get in one of the ships. So he puts his phone in his pocket, which I think is still recording at the time, and he unzips his jacket, and he puts the wok there and zips it up slightly so he can carry it up. He climbs the ladder, and he gets on the ship. And we'll leave Dan's... Oh no, we probably should finish Dan's arc. Well, anyway, Dan ends up communicating with the Doctor, who's in the Crimean War. And, the ships are going to launch at the time she's talking to him, because these are time ships that communicate through time and go through time. And I think the Sontaran's plan was to go to the dawn of time and erase humanity from existence and just make a Sontaran empire, which... Good plan. Fair play. Don't know why the Daleks never thought of that. Daleks can do emergency temporal shifts, which are a costly time jump, but still. All you need to do is hop back in time and kill the humans there. It's simple. And, same with the Time Lords. You just got as the Daleks. Hop back before the Doctor does what the Doctor does and wipe the planet out then, because you've got no War Doctor to tell you no more and stop you. The Sontarans. So they're doing that, and Dan's about to be executed by the Sontaran general. And now, at first you're thinking, oh, he's gone, but no. I mean, the original one that came to execute him, he hit in the back of their neck on the feeding port on the neck with the wok. Brilliant there. Donna did, I think, a tennis racket. Dan does the wok. But yeah, he's about to be executed. And then the dog bloke, who I still didn't look up his name, from last episode, comes in and saves. Because I think his species is still around the planet to protect it, because everything's still going to hell. And he does this, he saves him, and the dog starts doing the ship. And Dan's going, what are you doing? I've got a plan. He goes, first of all, it's not your plan. So I think the dog man can see through Dan's bullshit. But they end up flying one of the Sontaran ships and crashing it into the other Sontaran ships, getting rid of them because they're weird time ships. But they get out through, I think it was the waste pod, into the river, and they cool out. And those two are doing their banter. I think Dogman and Dan work brilliantly together. Because the dog asks Dan, "What are you doing with that useless weapon?" He goes, "It's a wok." And the dog replies, "Well, you look stupid with it." The dog and Dan together are just a comedic duo. Brilliant. And they get to, well, they're still at the docks, but the TARDIS arrives there and the Doctor comes out. And the dog goes after everything's over and done with. Now, let's go back to earlier on in the episode and continue with what the 13th Doctor was doing. After the bloke was executed, she uses her sonic screwdriver to send a signal-like horn that alerts Taran she wants to talk, and he responds parley. So they go to a misty field, and the Sontarans are, "You've got news on the Doctor, like the whereabouts." And 13 replies, "You're looking at her, mate." And the Sontaran is confused of how one of his mighty soldiers was deceived, with the Doctor replying, "It's not that hard." Now, before this had happened, they actually fit in a Sontaran joke. I quite like these. When Sontarans, they mock each other, looking like potatoes or being ugly, because they're weird looking things. But she says to the Sontaran, "Take your hat off, mate." And he takes it off, and he's the scarred, deformed potato. And she goes, "Oh, never mind, put it back on." Brilliant. Sontaran humour is brilliant. Well, yeah, they're talking. The Doctor threatens him, leave the planet, it's protected. The normal Doctor threatening type stuff. The Sontaran says no. Doctor's going on about how she speaks on behalf of all of humanity. And the British soldier, of which we met in Mary Seacole's Warside Hospital, points a gun to the Doctor's head. And says no, she doesn't, because he wants a fight, He's an idiot who wants all-out war with the Sontarans for some reason. So, the Doctor calls him a fool, and, well, the bloke threatens to blow her brains out on the floor. Which is, as you do. So the Doctor's being escorted back to the Battleside Hotel by a soldier. And behind the Sontaran, his entire army comes out. Massive army. And the British army, they fight the Sontarans. Big massacre. Even the Sontaran says, "So you give us a massacre." But the British general thought, I think he was the British general, he thought, massacre time. So, all the British are dying. The Doctor knocks out the guard who's coming with her. And she goes into the Sontaran base to see Mary Seacole. She sent there earlier on to keep notes on everything. And, they're talking. He's telling her what she knows, so they go on a Sontaran ship. Mary Seacole and the Doctor. And it's there that they communicate with Dan in the future. He's going, "Oh, is that Mary Seacole?" So on and so forth. They come up with the plan. And then she cuts off the Sontaran supplies, the Doctor. And then the Sontaran general, I think the Sontarans are beat too easily, me personally. But he's there. And the Doctor comes out of nowhere, is like, "Oh, you're struggling with no supplies. Retreat." And the Sontaran goes, "No, so we'll take a strategic retreat." They're all getting in their ships to go off. And what I thought was quite reminiscent of the Christmas Invasion, the 10th Doctor's Christmas special from 2005, where right at the end of that, the Doctor's made a deal with the Sontarans for them to go off and tell the others Earth is protected, which, they were leaving peacefully. But no, Harriet Jones, who was Prime Minister at the time, told Torchwood to blow them out the sky. And the 10th Doctor approaches, like, "What were you doing? They were leaving peacefully." And they have a debate about it. Well, in the Sontaran, War of the Sontarans rather, the general, the human general, decides to blow up all the Sontaran ships with gunpowder. And he tells the Doctor and Mary Seacole, "You should run." and he's lit the fuse and it's going down there, and big kaboom. And the doctor asks him, "What are you doing?" He's like, I had to do that for my soldiers," which he willingly sent into battle to be murdered, by the way. And the doctor's having a go at him, telling him, "Oh no, it's your guilt." And it goes on about his men like, "You would make me wonder why I bother with humanity." And Mary Seacole thanks her for bothering to save humanity. Be more like Mary Seacole in this episode. So yeah, that happens, and then the Doctor gets back in the TARDIS, which, when they were all transported to the Crimean War, the TARDIS had no door. It was 4 sides of wall, and then disappeared. But it reappears, and it has a door, and it looks like it's got some stuff on the front, probably the goo. And she goes inside the TARDIS. I don't think we actually see the inside, but she then goes to Liverpool's docks to meet the Dan and the dog. Now, before we end that, we'll have a look at what happens to Yaz. Yaz gets transported to this temple on a planet called Time, and so does that bloke from the station that got engulfed by the flux. And you know, this magic floating cube is going fix it. It reminds me of something, but I can't remember what. "343 Guilty Spark." That's what it reminds me of. A floating, glowing person who gets on your nerves. Yeah, that'll do. And they go to this room where it's got several people stood with like a prism thing. Now, I think 2 of the columns, the people things on it, didn't look too good. Now, the whole people appearing is triggered by a proximity sensor, where you step on it, they appear. Now, originally first, the space station bloke was there first, and Floating Triangle wanted him to fix it. You know, he's trying to get answers, he's not going to get any. Then, "Can you fix it? Can you fix it?" You just want to fix it. Felix, they'll whack him with a hammer and go, "I can fix it." But anyway, he leads them to there, and then Yaz comes out downstairs, and you know, the bloke's going, "Oh, I'm so and so from space station," and you got Yaz going, "I'm Yasmin Khan, I think it's North Hampshire Police Earth Division." They are really pushing that she is a policewoman. They forgot about it for the past 2 seasons. Bit late for a career change now. But then again, the last 2 seasons were fairly lackluster, so you can forgive that. It feels like they're really pushing it now. And, which they are in the next time bit actually, funnily enough. And you know, then the the triangle man wants them to fix it. And Yaz asks, "More context required. Idiot's guide." And the triangle goes, "Idiots should not be fixing this." So the space station man, he rattles on. It sounds like me when I was writing in French from my French GCSEs. He's going, "We need more context we need more information for the context of fixing this," or something along those lines. And the triangle is telling them about it, how this room, I think it kept like the balance of time. And then the triangle goes off because he detects more people. Well, it's the swarm, the purple man and the blue woman, who basically have Shigaraki's power from My Hero Academia. And you know, the blue woman, grabs, we'll call it female swarm. The female swarm grabs the triangle and cracks the glass. So who knows what it does to that? Because whenever they do that, they kill everything. And they got a bloke with them, big man, with like he reminds me of like the executioner masks from like the Tudor times. All those like black masks from that one Logan Paul film, The Thinning. think that's what it's called. Not airplane mode. Definitely not that one. But yeah, they end up going to the magic prism room. And the swarm are like, oh, you can step away now. We're here. And they put their hands on, I think, 2 of the broken ones or the working ones, and disintegrate them. And Yaz is going, you don't know what you're doing. And he goes, be quiet, your time will come. That's what the cliffhanger is. Now, to me, that room, I think they said it was like the controlling of time. And if something went wrong there, time would go to shit. That slightly, not slightly, it reminds me of the end plot line from Loki. When they get past the void and they get into the temple. And I think it was Kang, he who shall remains, I think that was his name. He's on about how you can kill him and multiple versions of him will spread and the multiverse will go to shit. Or you can let him control the multiverse and it will be better. It just reminds me of that. That, to be honest, it is a slightly similar concept but done well in both ways. It both involves something that controls time, people coming in, well, and its time running out, people coming in from outside of there and killing it, mucking everything up. Except with this one, the swarm people, now I'll get onto that, put Yaz and Space Station Bloke as the 2 replacements, which means time should now be okay, I think. Now, Dan and the Doctor, and I'm not sure if the Dogman did, they get in the TARDIS. Now, not only has it got all the black goop everywhere, the venom goop, but now it's got, like, mucus webbing fauna. It's got these, like, triangle things. I'll try and get an image up on screen. But it's got these, it's like dome, not triangle, dome type. It reminds me a lot of the flood domes from Halo. But yeah, they're on the TARDIS, but they weren't there when the Doctor arrived in Liverpool. Anyway, they get in the TARDIS, and the TARDIS isn't working. Something's corrupting it. And I reckon it's a swarm. I think the swarm are somehow involved in this. I don't know, maybe it's one of the races that the Time Lords took everything from. Who knows, maybe the swarm is the Doctor's people. That's a long shot. But the Time Lords took the Doctor. Now, because the male swarm could make the female one, maybe that is a form of regeneration, which could link the Doctor and the swarm, which the Doctor had the ability to regenerate, and their carer, because they changed gender as they regenerated, experimented, and that was the Time Lord. But if they could regenerate, and I don't know, maybe somehow the Doctor was key to that back on their original world. Maybe that's why the swarm look like they do. Maybe they got deformed because, I don't know, I'm clutching at straws here. But hey, let's deal with it. And then, because the Time Lords took it, it means they would have taken everything from them. But, yeah, I reckon they're doing this to the TARDIS so they can get the Doctor back. If not, oh well. But yeah, they're doing that. So they're on this temple as well, with the swarm, Yaz, and Space Station Man. We'll call him Buzz Lightyear for a bit, why not? And the Doctor's going on with the swarm about how there's not a planet called Time. And the swarm goes, yet here we are. That is a decent response. And, he shows the Doctor that Yaz and Buzz Lightyear are connected to the pillar thing. And he goes to get them. And they're like, no, don't bother, because if you try and free them, we'll turn them to ash. And the episode ends with the male swarm like going to click his fingers next to Yaz's face, and I think he clicks, and the camera ends with it panned at the swarm's face with him looking impressed, and the doctor looking like she's just lost her soul. So I mean, maybe they kill off Yaz, except they won't, because in the next time, which I think the next time has the Weeping Angels in it. Hang on, the next week's episode title was released. Village of the Angels, which I'm quite looking forward to. It's set in 1967. Or maybe they'll have the time thing here then. Hang on. Maybe not. What if the official Doctor Who Instagram account? I almost said YouTube channel then. Because of the, don't forget to click below and subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel. Once upon a time. Oh no! The next channel, the next chapter isn't Weeping Angels, sorry. It's Once Upon a Time. Sorry, I was reading that wrong. Apologies for that. I feel a fool now. And that is set in here we go, Once Upon a Time. Flux. Oh, Once Upon a Time has been, oh wait. On a planet that shouldn't exist in the aftermath of the apocalypse, the Doctor, Dan, Yaz and Vinder, that's Buzz Lightyear's name, Vinder, face a battle to survive. So yeah, I mean, the preview of the next episode has the Doctor falling through like a purple portal. Now, two things that reminds me of. I think it was the Doctor Who Season 5 trailer with the 11th Doctor and Amy and the whole like vortex thing with previews of the series. And the portal the Doctor fell through before the Time Lords took her. If I've accidentally led on to hear that the Swarm are the Doctor's people, then boom. But yeah, I would rate this episode 3.5 out of 10. Out of 5, sorry. That's bad in the context of 10. I think I rated last week's episode as a 3. I mean, so, how the last series of 2 seasons of Doctor Who went, I didn't want to accept 13 as a Doctor, because horrible writing. But if Flux is going to keep going the way it's currently going, yes, I accept. So yeah, I will see you next time with the review of Doctor Who Flux Chapter 3, Once Upon a Time. If you enjoyed this review of it, linked below, or you enjoyed watching this or listening to me, which I'm not sure you would, linked below in the description would be my main channel for a game on there. I have a channel for edits that I make of things, and I have a channel for putting up all of my streams, which is where this is directly taken from. So feel free to check any of that out, subscribe to this channel, like the video, and post a comment for a suggestion of maybe a film to review. Thanks for watching. Until next time, don't have a good day, have a great day. Okay, if you watched my stream live on Twitch, thank you for doing that. It's been a lot of rambling, so sorry about that, but I have kind of big plans. If you're watching this on Stream Archive, thanks for doing that. And if you subscribe to my reviews channel, thanks for doing that. Now, at the time of streaming, it doesn't exist. So, how I make this work, I'm yet unsure. But I'll make it work somehow. Until next time, keep making the impossible possible. I will see you with the next stream, maybe Thursday, because Overwatch has a new challenge out for McCree. I think he's called Cole now. I'm not sure. I will still call him McCree. To me, he's known as McCree. So we'll be doing that, and then it's back to normal Halo streams. So yeah, and don't have a good day, have a great day. I will see you in the next stream. Thanks for watching, and if you are waiting for my review channel, thanks for being patient with that. Bye.